So here we are for an interesting topic. So you heard about French cafe, right? Not coffee, French cafe. So maybe you've been to France and you didn't know what to order, and you kind of look dumb, and or you're planning on going to France and you've heard a lot about French cafe, but you don't know what the French to order. So what do you have to do to get something to drink around here? Stick to that video and I'll teach you 9 tips that could be really useful when you go to Paris or any cafe in France. Whatever region you're going, it's going to help you. Alright, so tip number 1. Je vais prendre un café. Je vais prendre un café. That's very famous. You will hear that so many people, most people use that expression to order coffee. Je vais prendre un café. So this is the number 1 on my list, I would say, and this is the one you should stick to. If it was up to me, I'll stick to this one. That's what I always say. So I think it's a good tip. Tip number 2. Ce sera. Ce sera. Like, it will be. Technically, it will be. Ce sera un café. Ce sera un expresso. Ce sera this and that. Well, whatever you're ordering, ce sera. It's more familiar than je vais prendre, but it's used everywhere. Any place you would go, any coffee shop or cafe, it's a tie, I would say, with je vais prendre. Tip number 3. It's actually a tricky one because in North America you don't see that a lot when you order coffee. They don't ask you that. In France, they will ask you court ou allongé. Café court ou allongé. What does that mean? Court means it's an espresso. It's very you get a very small amount of coffee, but it's super strong. Now, if you're feeling like the same amount of caffeine, but let's say a long shot, that would be allongé, elongated, I would say. So technically, this is very tricky. A lot of people don't even know what to say, what to reply, what to answer when the waiter asks you that. So if you want to look smart, like you've been there before, and you want to get something to drink around here, know what to order. Café court ou allongé. Court ou allongé. There it is. Tip number 4, how to get away with murder. If you're especially shy or introvert and you just want to go the easy way. Let's say you're going with someone, okay, and someone orders a café or chocolat chaud or something like that, and you want to go with the flow and order the same thing. So you would say la même chose, s'il vous plaît. Always s'il vous plaît, or they will look at you weird, okay? So be polite. French people are already known around the world to be kind of ranting kings, so don't try to do the same, okay? Stay polite, stay s'il vous plaît, la même chose, ou la même chose, s'il vous plaît, it's the same. There you go for tip number 4. Okay, tip number 5, hot chocolate. How do you order a hot chocolate in France? When you go to a cafe, you have 2 options. Chocolat chaud, chocolat liégeois. Chocolat chaud is the equivalent of the hot chocolate you will find everywhere, especially here in Canada. North America, hot chocolate, it goes for every type of hot chocolate. And chocolat liégeois means hot chocolate with whipped cream on top. So chocolat chaud, chocolat liégeois. Liégeois. Make sure you pronounce that good, not liégeois. Okay, so you will see. You can read like the right pronunciation, and so you can order the right thing. So chocolat chaud, chocolat liégeois. It's the hot chocolate or the hot chocolate with whipped cream. Tip number 6. It's the café gourmand. Café gourmand. What is it? So this is very very typical French, right? You will find this in a French cafe everywhere. So basically, it's a cafe, whatever cafe you want to order, with a small pastry. So you've heard of croissant, pain au chocolat, pain au raisin, but you get the, let's say, the travel size one, like the mini one, mini croissant, mini pain au chocolat, mini pain au raisin. So you can order un café gourmand, which means a cafe and a small pastry. It's called mignardise. Mignardise. Okay? Un café et une mignardise. You will find this everywhere, so don't feel like it's a weird thing to ask. It's very, very common, very frequent, everywhere. So there you go for tip number 6. Tip number 7 will be about the price, right? So it's very common to see 3 different prices for the same item you're about to order. Okay, whatever it's cafe or whatever you're going to have, there's going to be a price if you want to drink at a table, at the counter, and outside, sur la terrasse, en terrasse. You will ask. So whatever you ask, if you get inside the cafe and you order, they will ask you, est-ce que vous voulez le boire au comptoir, en salle ou en terrasse? Au comptoir means at the counter. Au comptoir, comptoir. En salle means inside the cafe, right? You just sit at the table and you enjoy your cafe. That's en salle, en salle. And if you want to eat it out, drink it outside, and like it's fine, spring, summer, or whatever. I mean, it doesn't even matter. French people will drink coffee outside even in winter because it's warmed up. So it's pretty cool outside. And so it's called en terrasse. Terrasse. 2R, 2S. So terrasse. So yeah, sum it up. You can have your coffee en salle, au comptoir, en terrasse. There's not a lot of difference in prices between the 3, but still be aware that it actually exists. Don't be surprised. It's perfectly normal. Don't feel like you're a tourist and they're trying to hustle you. They're trying to pull some kind of trick on you. No, it's perfectly normal. Every French people know it. So guess what? We just learned about it. Tip number 8. How do you ask for the check? All right, for the bill, for the check, however you call it. L'addition. L'addition, s'il vous plaît. So you call the waiter, you raise your hand, and then it's going to come, and then you ask l'addition, s'il vous plaît. That's it. L'addition. Tip number 9. Tip number 9 is a very tricky one, especially if you come from North America, right? Here you tip for everything, everywhere, anywhere you go, you have to tip. You have the taxes and the tips. So these two are very tricky for North American people when they go to Europe because, first of all, tax. The tax is included in the price. All right, so don't get tricked by that. Don't add unnecessary money on the table. Let's say you pay coffee for 2 euros. That's all you have to pay. 2 euros. 2 euro coins is enough, right? No need to add tax. And as for the tips is no mandatory in France. Is à la discrétion du client. À la discrétion du client. It means the client is king and he or she gets to decide whether to tip or not. So I got tricked here. It's very, very tricky because here it's actually mandatory. And coffee shop owners, restaurant waiters, owners won't hesitate to remind you of that great tradition. So be careful of that. If you go to France, You don't have to pay tax, and tip only if you feel like it. If you got good service, if you got a shitty service, feel free not to tip. It's perfectly okay. So there you go, 9 tips, 9 ways to order coffee in a French cafe, right? And one bonus trick. In a French cafe, you can order pastries. It's not exclusive to bakeries. You can ask, mostly you will have croissant and pain au chocolat, and sometimes pain au raisin. So if you feel like a good breakfast, you can order the whole thing, the whole package, like coffee, orange juice, and a pastry. So, café, viennoiserie, et jus d'orange. Viennoiserie is going to be the main topic of another video, and so stick to that channel. And if you like that video, like put a comment, like click the thumbs up, and please subscribe and activate the bell. Like click on the bell to get notified every time I drop a new video on every topic. There's going to be a lot more coming. I don't know when you're going to watch that video, but just know that this was the very first video on this channel, and it's going to be much more about French, not just the language, but about expressions, words, idiom, words like French culture, French region. You're going to learn a lot about on this channel. So stick to it, and I'll see you in the next one. Et en attendant, je vous dis à la prochaine. Guess what? Just learned a new word, a new expression. À la prochaine. See you soon.